it, y'all. We bike like the passenger seat with your nigga laying in it. Welcome back to another episode of Introspective Thoughts. It's been a month. It's been a wild month. Hopefully by the time y'all see this, your president is either A, gone, or the world has probably not ended yet. Hopefully you are able to watch this and ain't nothing that happened. Hopefully China hasn't taken over by now. And if it has, I mean, maybe we'll see each other in the gulag. I don't know. We'll make it do what it do. I hope y'all enjoyed last week's episode with Jalen. I hope he dropped, well, I hope you picked up a lot of great gems on fitness and stuff like that. And I hope y'all tapped in with him, especially if you're in the Houston area. I hope you tapped in with him and got a workout plan. And if you haven't, I need you to get on there ASAP because, again, we support Black business around chill. And if you got a problem with that, go ahead and click off this thing. You know, actually, don't click off of it. Let it play in the background. Mute it. Let it play in the background so I can get the stream and then click off of here. Yeah, there we go. That's how that works. This week, y'all know I like to keep a variety of topics and keep a variety of people coming on up on here. Last week we did, your wellness. The week before we talked about what it's like being a parent and being a professional at the same time. And then the week before we gave y'all some forecasts of 2021 and what's getting ready to happen. And I don't know about y'all, but it's looking bad already, at least from our standpoint. The forecast is actually coming pretty true. It's kind of scary, but it is what it is. Here we are. But this week I want to switch gears. Last season we had, my homie Galen, he came through, Black Hip, he came through and talked to us about his music career and his up and coming artistry and things like that. So I wanted to roll back over to that swing of things real quick and jump back into some music things, right? And so I have a tribe member here, another tribe member here. Catch the hint, catch the thing. It's most of my tribe members so far, but again, if y'all want to come on and talk shit, y'all know I'm here for it. Make it do what it do. But I have another tribe member of mine here. He considers himself an artist in every facet, but he specializes in making music from the heart. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. I done heard a couple of the clips and a couple of the singles and stuff, and I'm like the Judge Judy meme where she like I need it on time in my hand. Like that's where I am with this man's music. Like I need y'all. He laughing right now. Y'all can't hear it or see it, but he laughing right now, and I'm like, today is the day that we need the songs. We need the album. We need the rollout. We just need it now. So without further delay and enough of my shenanigans, welcome to the show, 232.
You're. What's good, bro?
That's good.
I'm 232, you know what I'm saying? As my man's just said, I'm 232. That's TWO32. I'm an artist out of New York City, Queens specifically. I've been making music professionally for the last 7 years, but I've been pursuing it for the last 10. I've been rapping since 10th grade, so yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? R&B, hip hop, whatever you want, I got it over here on this side.
Now, what was it that you said in this group message? You said you make music. No, you said it on Twitter. You make music for niggas to have sex to. That is a mantra right there. Now, if you can't talk shit about your own work right there, I'm sorry. You need to step your pussy, step your game up. Like
the proof in the pudding. The proof in the pudding, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look, listen. I got messages from people hitting me up like, "Yo, bro, I was in the crib with this shorty and I put your shit on." You know what I'm saying? And the vibes instantly got off, bro. And I'm just like,
now when you get a phone call in 9 months talking about about your song. So why she get pregnant though?
Hey. And none of my songs, all right, in a couple of my songs, I might encourage pregnancy. But in most of my songs, I don't encourage the pregnancy part. So if your pull-out game weak, that's on you, player. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with me.
So what you saying is if you came back out of a driveway, you don't need to be doing nothing to this music. That's what you saying?
Hey, if it ain't your intentions to make no baby, you don't do all that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
And y'all heard it here. You heard it from the artist himself. If you end up getting, I'm gonna just put it like this: strap up and go get a plan B, go get a plan C, just in case. That's all I'm gonna.
Yes.
That's all
Be
I'm gonna
safe
say.
about it.
Okay, be real. I mean, lock it down tight if you got to, cause
For real, for
yikes.
real.
But I'm glad to have you here, man. Glad to be able to chop it up with you and be able to talk with you about what you got going on. So before we get into everything, right? First of all, you said you literally just put it out here, told us that you've been in the game for a decade at this point, right? And so being in this and in this artistry and stuff like that, how did you even get to this point of where you're literally making music? Because a lot of people think that, oh, I just wake up one morning and I'm just like, I'm gonna drop a bar, which, I mean, if you got it like that, by all means, talk your game, talk your shit, do it. But how did you get into this?
Like into making music itself.
Yeah, or just in general, like how did you get to where you are now? Give us the story. Give us the
All right,
background.
all
We
right,
want
all
the
right, all right.
story.
All right, we could get into the story then. All right, so this shit really dates back to me being a child, you know what I'm saying? Because my dad used to rap back in the day, and he used to rap with his cousins and his homeboys and shit. They had a group out in New York called Fam Click, and niggas was doing shows, niggas was producing and all of that. And baby me was just in the midst of all of that shit in the studio, because I'm my parents' firstborn child. So they had me around everything. So every time my pop's in the studio with my cousins and shit, I'm always in the studio. This nigga told me I made a beat when I was like 3 that I don't remember. He don't remember neither, but he said it was fire. So I'm gonna just, you know what I'm saying, go with his version of the story. Um, and then for like the longest time, like after I left New York and shit, for the longest time, I didn't really involve myself with music outside of listening to it. You know what I'm saying? Moms would play the oldies on Sunday and shit when it's time to clean the crib and all that. You know, you got your Sade and your Joe and Michael Jackson and shit. So that's where I think my love for singing and my love for R&B stemmed from, was those days, those weekends. And then after a while, around ninth grade is when I got into marching band, and that's when I was living in Atlanta. And I was this small nigga, probably like 5 foot, maybe shorter than that. I don't even know how tall I was at that time, but I had these big ass cymbals. So I think that's where I started getting more hands on with the music and shit. So I was doing marching band, and then like my 10th grade year, we had a game, and we was coming back home, and the drum line was lit. So we all on the same bus and shit. We making jokes and shit, and it's a long ride home. We got like 3 hours till we get back to the spot. So niggas is like, yo, y'all trying to freestyle? We got drums on here. So niggas start playing the drums and shit, making a beat on the back of the fucking bus. And then we just sending the freestyle around the whole squad and shit. So that was my first time freestyling for real. And I was like, damn, son, I'm low-key might be nice with this shit if I like keep working at it. And so halfway through 10th grade year, we moved to Mississippi, and there was not shit for me in Mississippi to do. So I ended up being like locked in my room a lot of nights when niggas didn't have me out working and shit. And I would just be writing to beats all the time. And then I came to graduate eventually, and I was looking at a bunch of schools. Like I was gonna go to Savannah for art school at first. I was gonna go to Salt Lake City to go to a gaming school, to teach me how to do game design, because that's one of the schools that I got accepted to. So I was fully gonna go be a game designer. And then I was just like, yo, you know what? I kind of love this music shit now. Now that I've been rapping for a couple years, you know what I'm saying? And I done built myself to this point, because I was modeling myself after Kendrick Lamar and my pops. So once I got my rap skill up, I was just like, yo, you know what? I got a lot of family that I haven't seen in New York in a very long time, because we've been bouncing around for years. And I don't want to do all the shit that I thought I wanted to do before I graduated. Now it's just like, I'm about to get this plane ticket. I'm about to go back up there and get shit shaking, and whatever happens, happens. You know what I'm saying? And I met my producer, who's actually a longtime friend. He's my cousin's best friend. Nigga used to walk me to school when I was in like 2nd grade. And I came back to him as a 17-year-old young male, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, yo, I heard you make beats. I rap, you know what I'm saying? I'll rap for you right now type shit, rap for that nigga. And it's been sold ever since, you know. I started making music with him in 2014. That's my man's Link. So yeah.
Damn. You took us all over. Like, this is
I
about
know,
to.
I
This
know.
is it's interesting because now you're talking to a former band geek yourself now, because I used to play trumpet for 7 years in middle and high school band. Got to college and I was like, nope, can't do it no more. Hit one of them little field shows, and UT tried to put me in the grave that day. I was like, nah, this ain't it. But you spoke on several different regions of the United States. You spoke on Atlanta, you spoke on Mississippi, you are in New York now. Like, and you spoke on, like, you having your pops as one of your influences. You spoke on Kendrick Lamar. Like, who is like some of your biggest influence? Because I mean, from what I've heard from your music, like, you can't pinpoint like a specific artist or a specific region like you could. Like, you can tell what Southern hip hop sounds like. It sounds like Tip,
Yeah.
it sounds like Gucci, it sounds like Outkast. Your Cali shit sounds like Kendrick. It sounds like I'm blanking on artists, but you get the point.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got New York, and that's a whole different ball game. But like, who would you say some of your influences are? Because again, you can't pinpoint it in the music, but it's like somebody had to be influencing you besides Kendrick Lamar and your pops. Like,
Honestly, like, honest to God, and it's funny that you say that you can't pinpoint like the sound of my music and then ask me what my influences are, because realistically, I pull from everything. You know what I'm saying? So every time I get this question, my answer is different because I literally pull from everything. The same shit that everybody else be listening to, I listen to it. If I think that is dope, I study it to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? And now where my brain just like picks up things, it just picks up shit. It's like a fucking data bank. So if I listen to something and I think it's dope, I'm just like, oh shit, I'm gonna keep that in mind just in case I ever want to like do this effect with my voice, or like keep this cadence in mind in case I ever want to flow like this on some other shit, you know. But like, people like Michael Jackson, people like Sade, just how serious they took their craft. You know what I'm saying? Like the Beyoncés of the world, Jay-Z's, Lil Wayne's, Travis Scott when it comes to his performance, Kanye when it comes to his performance and shit. So it's just like there's many things to pull from various people. And if you pay attention to like everybody's greatest qualities, and it all just, you got one big ass pot of gold now. You feel me? So like that's how I look at it. I pull from everything that I feel like is dope and just work it into my own system. And it's just like I'll use this thing, but I still make it me at the end of the day.
that's dope. Like that, because you don't hear of too many artists being able to do that. A lot of people get trapped in a specific, I don't want to say genre, but some do get trapped in a specific genre. Some people get
Yeah.
stuck in a specific space or a specific idea of what they want their sound to sound like, and then they don't evolve from there, right? I think I was listening to The Read a couple of weeks ago, and I think this is from an episode from like last year or the year before, or something like that. And they were talking, and this was back when Soulja Boy was on The Breakfast Club, the whole Drake meme, all of that. It was that whole episode. And Soulja Boy made a great point as far as like, he pioneered all of the shit that you see now, as far as, niggas doing dances with songs, as far as niggas being on YouTube and shit like that. But one of the points that the host of the podcast was talking about is like, he never evolved with his fans, right? He never, it was still, hop about the bed, turn my swag on. It was the same, booty me down. It was like, even though we still listen to stuff like that, when you don't grow with your audience, you end up getting left in the dirt. And that typically happens to a lot of artists, as they are maturing, quote unquote, in their sound or in what they do. And so it's dope to hear that, you're able to take, different aspects and incorporate it into what you have now. It's almost like a jack of all trades type thing, if that makes sense. That is fucking dope. So now I want to go back to this marching band piece, right? Because you played the cymbals. Now, how in the hell did you get from playing the cymbals to singing? Like, cause I know you said you did your freestyles and stuff like that, but like, was there any point in time where like you were in high school and there was like some kind of talent show or something that you was in? It was like, a nigga got pipes. Let me.
Honestly, all right, as far as the talent shows thing goes, now I've never been a talent show ass nigga. Honestly, like for my entire life, and I thought it was just something that I've like grown into, where it's just like I don't feel like proving myself or necessarily competing against people. I thought that was like a new thing, but when I think back, I've always been like that. You know what I'm saying? I did a talent show one time, and it's because they made me do it, and I was in like 4th grade. But they was like, oh, this little nigga could rap a little bit, so we're gonna write him a rap, and we're gonna let him. Oh, actually, it wasn't a talent show; it was a Christmas show. It was like, yo, we're gonna let him rap for the Christmas show. Da da da. So I was like, all right, bet. But yeah, nah, I feel like I've always somewhat had vocals, you know what I'm saying? But only my mom knew, because I would only sing around the crib, or I would only sing inside the car with my mom and shit. I would sing her mad fucking Michael Jackson songs and shit. When we was in Atlanta and B5 came out, I was in the car with her singing all the B5 songs and shit like that. But the reason why I decided to start singing more is because when I got to New York and I was making my rap shit for a little bit, I made a couple rap songs. And then it clicked for me, and I was like, yo, Link, we trying to make it with this music shit, right? I was like, so how about this? If we break down like the demographic of the world and shit, women outweigh men, like by a lot. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more women than men. So if I make music catered to women and I make music that women like, the men is just gonna fall in line, because niggas be doing whatever to get up under a shorty, you know what I'm saying? And shorties is just like good fucking promoters, bro. They like anything a shorty talking about, niggas be like, oh, word, oh, this shit is fire, oh, this shit is fire, I'm gonna go hop on that, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it was like simple math for me. When men say quick maths, that's why I started singing.
Nah, that's real though, but a lot of people don't think like that. You know, that's where when I said the jack of all trades type thing, because like you have to be able to not only just know your audience, but know how to, what is the word? Um, grab everybody's attention, and in the way that you grab your attention is literally what you just said. Is like looking at the math of it, like there's more women gonna go for this, they're gonna do this, that. I mean, prime example, this busted challenge. Everybody on the web is doing this busted challenge, which I'm like, thank you, God. You didn't have to do it, but I just gotta tell you thank you for that, because it is some fine ass women out here that is. Let me stop. That's not what we're here to talk about. That's not what we're here for. But
Hey,
you get the.
I get you, bro. I understand. Trust me.
Cause it's some of these folk up on here that's talking about some busted, and I'm like, you better quit playing before I end up in your DMs. Like, you're lucky I'm on this side of the country and you on that side of the country, and we in a panorama. Cause if it had not been, again, see, that's not what we're here for. Focus. Let me stay here. But I say all that to say, like, you know, it's dope that you're able to take that, because a lot of people, again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier about a lot of people don't grow with their audience because they don't think about how what they produce, the impact that it has on other people, right? And that also goes with growing with your audience. I think of Chris Brown, like he grew with his audience. That's why a lot of people rock with Chris Brown still to this day. Now, if you still one of them people talking about, so, well, he beat Rihanna and this is that and the third, go away, because that's dead. That shit happened 10 years ago at this point. Not to say that it's excusable, but y'all also didn't watch that lets me know y'all didn't watch the documentary, because it's two sides to this story. But when I think of Chris Brown, I think about, you know, Chris Brown and how he was giving us, you know, Run It and On and Popping, and took that to Let Me Take You Down, to now you dropping 45 tracks on an album, like somebody really finna listen to all 45 songs on an album, nigga. We ain't got all day for that. Like we just like, give me my quick 10 and we can move. Like 45 songs, nigga, that's a book. Like I'm just not getting ready to listen to all that. But it's that kind of stuff that keeps your longevity going, right? And even you brought up Michael Jackson. Like Michael Jackson did the same thing. I mean, dude started when he was what, 10? You know, and nigga was still touring even right before he kicked the bucket. Prince was the same thing. Whitney did the same thing. Like, I think of all of these childhood people where, like, and Whitney is a prime example how she started in the church and then moved into secular music and then kind of went back to the church in a sense. Fantasia is another, started in the church. And I mean, Fantasia, she'll sing about a baby mama, then she'll sing about whooping a nigga ass, and then she'll sing about how she want a hood boy, and then we'll get on Bobby Jones gospel on BET and will sing to you like it's Sunday morning and have you running around somebody's church. Like, but that's to me is what maturity looks like in music. And I don't think a lot of people have the range, I'll just say it like that, have the range or the knowledge or the capacity or the thought process to even execute it in that manner. It's like, it's not necessarily like, this is a gimmick. This is nigga, we all evolve. In order for something to stay alive, it has to grow. And if it doesn't, that's natural selection. Things have to adapt. And if it doesn't, it dies off. Like, that's literally how shit works. But I don't think a lot of artists get that. And then you end up with these one-hit wonders. You know, you give these people that had that one good-ass track, and then that was it, you know. But it's dope that you're able, that you was able to take that, you know, based off of your influences and then apply it to now, to where, again, I'm just say this again. Y'all need to go listen to this man's stuff, because you can hear what I'm talking about when I say this. Like, because one of them tracks, I don't remember what track that was I listened to. I know it was like the top of 2020. I don't remember what the name of the track was. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it. But I know I listened to that track and I was like, okay. And then the next track, and I was like, no, this nigga didn't just switch this up. Like, what the fuck? How? And then then the one that we just heard recently, I was like, see, you playing, like, drop the album, like, drop it now, like now, today. Because you sitting on stuff like niggas don't want this shit. Like,
yo, nah, that's funny as shit, because I've been telling the team that, you know what I'm saying? But we chilling for good reason, because I'm so used to just dropping things. And like, in the past, it hasn't really garnered the attention that I wanted it to garner. So like, with this tape, we just taking a different route, and like, really working on the rollout and shit, and really putting bread behind our promotions and things like that. Like, one of the singles already dropped for the tape, and then we have another one coming this month. I actually have to get the cover art and shit ready, like, within these next 2 weeks. But the first shit was the Kayate shit. And we put mad bread behind that, mad attention behind that, mad energy behind that. And that's the first video that I ever had hit 150K views. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why it's just like, I'm being strategic with it, but I do also have mad shit that I want to put out.
nah, I feel that. Like, I genuinely feel that. I think that's something that I've heard a lot of artists say, where they like, I got a lot of stuff that I want to put out, but I gotta sit on it because there's a manner in which I want to go about doing it. And if I don't go about doing it in the manner in which it looks like, then it's not gonna hit like you want it to. But then at the same time, you know, as a consumer of the art, because I'm not somebody that produces music like that, right? I'm just the enjoyer, I'm the listener of it, you know. On our end, we like, well, it should take that damn long. But it's like, no, there's a process to that, you know. It's just like when people, me and a homie of mine was having a conversation about this like a couple years ago, where we were talking about how it's imperative that you listen to an artist, you know, when they drop a mixtape or they drop a album or a project, that you listen to it in the order that it was ordered, because that in itself tells a story. A perfect example would be To Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. That mug tells a story from top to bottom. Damn tells a story from top to bottom. Beyonce's Lemonade tells a story from top to bottom. And so if you listen to it out of order, you're gonna be like, man, this tape flopped. And it's like, no, girl, you just didn't do what you were supposed to do, which was listen to it like how it was supposed to be produced. But I don't think a lot of people, as far as the consumers, I don't think we take that into consideration as far as, excuse me, how much thought process and energy and work that it takes for you all to produce something like that. We just take it in and we're just like, yes, this is amazing tape and it sounds like this and this is great and blah 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 and whatever, but we don't take the time to, I guess the word is consider. Is that the word? Yeah, consider everything that it takes to put out an album, or everything it takes to put out a track, or everything it takes to put out anything. Because I mean, like you just said, how you were very, very strategic about, you know, the rollout for the Kayate video, how you were very strategic about, you know, the music, how you were strategic about the work, the sample, the artistry, all of that. Like, folk think y'all just get up one morning and I'm like, I'm gonna drop a song today. No, that's not realistic, because then if they did that, y'all wouldn't listen to them at all. Like, can we put two and two together?
Thank you.
Like,
That's the whole shit, bro. And like, trust me, I have days damn near every day when I wake up and I just be like, damn, son, I want to just drop a song today because I got it. They mastered, they mixed, you know what I'm saying? They ready to go. I got them. She's like, damn, I could just post this bitch up, you know what I'm saying? But who actually gonna listen to it if I don't time it a certain way, you know what I'm saying? And drop it like, or promote it at this time and such. And another thing too is like, it wouldn't even take that long if all this shit didn't require money, you know what I'm saying? Like if I didn't have my manager and the rest of my team putting in to help us execute these ideas and shit, or and taking the majority of the costs away from me, like niggas wouldn't be getting a lot of this shit. Cause since this fucking pandemic, bro, like I've been scrambling to make bread through various things, and like I just had to fix my relationship with money and shit so I don't look at it crazy and be all down and out about it. But like I've been scrambling out here. Niggas still ain't sent me my unemployment, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting it how I get it, and it come when it come type shit.
so you hit something. So let's switch gears a little bit, because I am gonna come back to. I got another question as far as music related, but you hit something that's interesting, right? Because you brought up the idea of healing your relationship to money, right? Because that is something that I've had to do. Like, if it was one thing that 2020 was gonna put down my throat until I understood it, like I mean understood it, was that your relationship to money determines your longevity in your life, right? And when I say longevity, I mean like it can determine whether or not you eat on the smallest thing, or it can determine whether or not you travel the world. It can determine whether or not how much power and influence that you have. And I think a lot of people, you know, get caught up in I gotta work this 9 to 5 and I have to grind and I have to do all of these different things in order to garner the quote unquote success that money brings, right? So, and the listeners and the watchers know that we've had a lot of spiritual conversations before on this program, because I'm a very spiritual person myself. If you haven't watched the first episode of this season, go back and watch the episode with me and Lady D as we do our forecast for 2021, and you'll see how much spiritual I am. But the question is like, what did that process look like for you to healing your relationship with money? Because with us going through this pandemic, ponderosa, panorama, ponder replay, pancreas, whatever you want to call this mug, a lot of people are living in fear, you know, about how they're going to eat and how they're going to pay their rent and how they're going to, you know, put gas in the car and how they're going to be able to support their kids. And of course, you know, your process is not going to look the same as my process. It's not going to look the same as everybody else's process. But what did your process look like when it came to healing your relationship with money?
Okay, so first things first, and I'm gonna just say that the reason why I was able to do what I'm about to say right now is because I'm blessed enough to stay with my grandmother, so I don't have to worry about things like rent or whether or not I'm necessarily gonna have a meal. So I'm blessed in that regard. But like I had to put myself in a position where I severely lacked in order to get over that feeling, you know what I'm saying, or that fear of lack. In order to get over that fear of lack, I had to put myself in a position where I ain't have any money at all and be cool with that. And it was just like, okay, now let's look at all the things that we do have. And that I guess like helped me out with it, you know what I'm saying? And then from that point on, I was just like, all right, we finna stop bitching and complaining and talking about how we don't got money all the time. That's another step. I don't talk about how I don't have money. I don't call myself broke or any of that shit, regardless of who outside may call me bro. Like, oh, this nigga only got $20. He broke. Da da da. You could call me whatever the fuck you want to. I'm not gonna call myself that shit. Cause I know where all my money goes at the end of the day. I tell niggas all the time, I'm not broke, I'm invested. All my bread goes right back into this music shit.
What a word. Ooh, I'm not broke, I'm invested. Woo! That is a sermon. Put that on a t-shirt. Put a fly an airplane and put that in the sky. God damn.
That's good, for real.
What
but yeah,
a
that was a big part. That was a big part.
But it's interesting that you also said that, because how you said you had to experience lack in order to know what you truly had. It's just like how a lot of Southerners, or how a lot of church people say, count your blessings, you know, because it could be worse, or it could be this. And to me, that's not a mindset that I personally like to take on, is that it could be worse, because to me, life and death is in the power of the tongue. I've said this so many times on this on this platform. And so even if you don't verbally say it, even if that's a thought process, that's still putting energy out.
That's still lack. That's still lack, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you have to appreciate things for the fact that they're there, and not because it could be this. It's just like, nah, we have this. This is what we got around us. Let's just appreciate it for the fact that it exists and it's in our cipher, instead of being like, oh, well, it could be this, because now you're just giving yourself a whole bunch of hypotheticals that don't need to be there. Like, okay, it could be that, but it's not that. So let's just appreciate what it is.
And I think for me, and it's interesting that you say that, because I think for me, everything that you just said, as far as like having to be in a space of lack, like a physical space of lack, is what made me realize that I had a mental space of lack. Because what a lot of people, and I don't care or give a black fuck about how anybody feels about this, to me, poverty is a mindset. That is a mindset. Because, and I could go on a whole long drawn out thing, a lot of people would ask, well, what about homeless people? Is that a mindset for them? Yes. And I say yes, because in a sense, if you consistently are let me back up. Like when people say they're trying to chase money, they're trying to go after money. Why are you trying to chase something that, if you already know that you're taken care of, or you know that you recognize that you have everything that you need around you, you don't have to go chase after something, because in the process of you chasing it means that it's running away from you, right? And so if you have a poverty mindset, you're going to always be in the mindset of like, I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I need more. I need more. In the mindset of you saying, I need more, there's a connotation that you have less. That's a poverty mindset. And a lot of people don't recognize and don't realize that, which is how you said, earlier, how you said you don't call yourself broke. I was talking to a homie of mine last week or the week before, I don't remember, where I told him, I said, I don't, like, even though I'm from Memphis and we are a city full of hustlers, we're a city full of grinders, like, that's just innately, we're born with that. Like, it don't matter if you grew up in the hood or you grew up in the suburbs. Like, if you moved to Memphis, live in Memphis, born and raised in Memphis, all of us have a hustler mindset. Like, we gonna take what we got and we're gonna make something happen for it. And 97% of that reason is because Memphis is one of the poorest cities in the United States. I mean, there's a reason why Memphis is number 1 dangerous city in the United States. It's because it's so much poverty. It's a 70% black city. There's a lot of poverty. The city council is trash and they don't manage money well, even though there's FedEx, ServiceMaster, Nike, International Paper, and all these other different entities that are there in the city. I mean, Memphis is, America's distribution center. There's all these different things, but a lot of people would think that Memphis would be just as rich as Atlanta, or just as rich as New York, or just as rich as LA, or something like that. But there's a poverty mindset behind it, right? But I stopped saying the words, stop referring to myself as like grinding. And I actually had to stop listening to Nipsey Hussle, his song Stuck in the Grind and Hustle and Motivate, two of my favorite songs by that man. May he rest in power. But I had to stop listening to it because, again, as I've been preaching a long time and on this platform, life and death is in the power of the tongue, right? But a lot of people also don't understand that language is the matrix. Language is your reality. What you speak of yourself then becomes your reality, right? And so if you're telling somebody that you're grinding, well, what does the word grinding mean? You're grinding against something mean you're breaking it down to a fine point. But why would you break yourself down to that fine point if you're trying to build yourself up? That's an oxymoron. That don't even make sense. It's a paradox, actually. It don't even make sense. But then also hustle, when you look at the definition of hustle, go look at an etymology dictionary where hustle, you're trying to swindle somebody out their money. That's never my, intention of trying to swindle somebody out of their money. I want to make my stuff in a pure fashion so that way I don't need that karma coming back onto me, because it can and it will. And I don't want that on me. But all of that, and people consistently saying, I'm getting up to chase the bag and I'm getting up to go do this and I'm getting up to go hustle. That's fine that you're making your money, but if you're chasing after it and not letting it come to you, which is why I had to flip the script, which we was talking about this, in our group messages, was talking about, money manifestations and stuff like that, and how Chloe and Halle, perfect example. That song Everywhere, literally the chorus says, I got money everywhere, falling from the trees. I got money everywhere, flowing all around me. That song not only brought them money, but they finna get residuals off of that. And then on top of that, other people around them is finna get paid because of that. How do I know? Because when that song first came out and I started singing it over myself, checks, money, stuff started dropping, where I was like, where the fuck this come from? And I didn't have to do anything for it. And so it's dope that you that experience, that you had to go through the experience, because I know I can attest to that for myself, where I don't mind telling my business. At one point in time in this pandemic, I had $1.74 in my bank account. But then I had to step back and realize, nigga, you still got a roof over your head. You ain't paid rent in that bad boy in a good minute, but you still here. You still got gas in the car. You may got like 5 things of food in the refrigerator, but you know how to make stuff because you grew up in a Black household. You know how to make a 5-course meal off of 3 things. You straight. You may not have what you want, but you have what you need, and that's where the important piece is. And I think a lot of people miss that.
Exactly. Because we often get caught up in thinking about the shit that we want. And that's like just natural as a human, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like you also have to take account for the things that you got all the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, the fact that I have fucking clothes on my back, I got TV to do whatever the fuck I want to do on the TV, you know what I'm saying? I got people that love me still around me and shit. I got food in my fridge. I got food in my pantries. I got water that run hot still. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I got $0 in my bank account, but that just mean it's room for more. If I ain't got shit inside the bank account, that just mean it's room for more. The shit ain't full yet.
Woo! Another sermon. Shoot! Damn! Where's my organ? I need a preacher chord behind that. Ah! But it's also interesting because it made me think about it too, where I had the part of my process of learning about that poverty mindset and that lack is to understand that money is literally nothing but a tool. So to even go back to what you just said, as far as like, I'm not broke, I'm investing. And even to go back to what you said about, you can't receive in a full cup. Like, how do you receive in a cup that's full? That's not possible. It's like when you the thing is that a lot of people have to retrain themselves and unlearn and relearn, the way that they approach things, the way that they do things, the way that they speak over themselves. And I'm preaching to myself as I'm saying it, y'all. But a lot of people have to go back and do that. And the biggest thing that I had to understand was that money is literally a tool. Like, it's a tool for you to, be able to go get food. It's a tool for you to be able to go get X, Y, and Z. But here go the fucked up portion, and this is where I get into my social studies teacher bag, and then onto my Black Panther soapbox, and then to my Black Power shit, it is what it is. money being a tool to get what you need to get, but us being in a capitalistic society says that your worth is based on how much you have. But it's how much green you got, how much dinero, pesos, l'argent, yen that you have, but not up or how much stuff you have. But the other issue with capitalism, it says that you aren't worthless. You aren't worth something if you can't produce something, or if the stuff that you do produce, if it doesn't make you money, it's worthless. And to me, as a community as a whole, not even just Black folk, but as the American society as a whole, is everybody is starting to learn, especially a lot of white folk who was like, well, I may be broke, but at least I'm not a nigga. Let's rewind it back to indentured servitude time, because that's still a mindset that a lot of people have. A lot of people are starting to realize that this government ain't been for you. And I mean, come on now, we knew this. Like, we knew this. Y'all just didn't pay attention to it, but we knew this. But the thing is that in that same realization, a lot of people don't understand that you still have something that you can offer, or that you can bring to the table. That's what I'm trying to say. You still have something that you could bring to the table, but when you are too caught up in, you know, what other people think, or with other people, what's some more say, when other people define your narrative, when you let other people define your narrative, or you let niggas that are supporting roles in your story dictate what your outcome looks like, then you sitting here looking assed out because of whatever. You know, like you just said, I'm not broke, I'm investing. That's literally taking what society is saying and literally flipping it on its head. You flip the beat right on its head. It's like, I'm taking what I have and using what I have, so that way I can give more, I can do more, I can say more. Kim Burrell is problematic and homophobic as she is, but I'm going to use her as an example. She said in one of the Kojic conventions, she was preaching or something like that. Well, she was like, any work and labor love that you give to the saints, God will reward you. And so when you take it and apply it into the context of money, if you take your money and give it to other people and you use it to help other people, you telling the Most High, you're telling the Creator, God, whoever, Allah, whoever you believe in, that, you know, I'm preparing myself for you to give me more, so I can then go do more with what I have, right?
Yes. And honestly, bro, like any type of, all right, so I'm pretty sure that you've heard the saying that money is just energy, you know what I'm saying? And when we're spending money or receiving money, it's just an energy exchange. So what you just said about like giving money to people, I view every money exchange like that. Cause somebody got paid. Somebody got paid. Whether it be the motherfucking Uber driver nigga, whether it be Uber, I don't know, somebody got paid. The nigga at the grocery store, somebody got paid. You know what I'm saying? Or like anytime I have money, I just feel like it's to spend. And it's a bad, well, some people would say it's a bad habit to have. I don't really think so, because I still be having shit for when I need shit. You know what I'm saying? But if I got it, I'm gonna do something with it. And I had a conversation with a shorty one day about that, because she was like, yo, every time you have money, you know what I'm saying, you never save any of it. You just like put it into the next thing that you want to do, you know what I'm saying? And it usually be for some shit that's not gonna get you any type of residuals until down the line. And I'd be like, okay, I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way that I operate is off of generosity, you know what I'm saying? And just doing good deeds. Like I enjoy bringing light to other people's days and shit like that. And out in fucking New York, we got mad homeless people and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So like if I ever got a few dollars on in my pocket or some shit and I'm on the train, niggas be saying they need food. I don't care if this person is lying and he really about to go get a bottle of liquor or some crack. I don't care what he about to go get for real. If he go get food or not, I'm gonna give this person some money, because like they need it for something, you know what I'm saying? Why can I spend my bread to go get drunk and shit like that, but I won't go give it to somebody else just cause they are a bum, like niggas be saying? That shit
And
don't make sense to me, you know what I'm saying? I don't really promote it. I don't promote them doing that with their bread if that's the only type of bread they got. Like, yeah, you should definitely go get something that's nourishing for your body. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I did my part. Shit, I didn't even picked up $1 off the floor one time. I ain't have nothing enough. And I'm thinking to myself, I wasn't even finna use that dollar for me, bro. I'm thinking to myself the whole time, I ain't got no money. I picked this dollar up off the motherfucking floor, and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to give this to somebody in the train station. Because I'm about to go home. These niggas need that more than me.
Wow. And a lot of people don't think in that manner. That's a paradigm shifter right there. And even what you just said is shout out to Shorty for trying to call you out. And she didn't even recognize where she was fucking up at, because, and it's not necessarily that she was fucking up, but where she had you fucked up. Let me put it like that. Because my mama used to say the same thing. Me talking about, you let that money burn a hole in your pocket. You damn right I do. Like, because that's what it's for. Because to me, like you just said, when money being an energetic exchange, right? If you hold on to it, you're keeping more from coming into you, right? Which means it's got to go out at some point. Now, granted, I get it. You know, save some for a rainy day, save some for emergencies. I get that wholeheartedly. But if you're trying to manifest more abundance into your life, you have to get rid of the old so that way that the new can come in. Like, that's not, like, I think of, so again, y'all know I pull tarot cards and stuff, right? Like that, right? And there's several cards that are out. Like, there's the Ace of Cups, and I think of the Nine of Cups, and I think of the 10 of Cups, right? Especially the 10 and the Ace. The 10 and the Ace, anytime you see or I see any of those upside down, I automatically think of, literally, imagine this water bottle. This is your cup, and what's in it is doing this. It's emptying itself out, right? You're losing something. But this don't stay like this all the time. At some point in time, your cup has to go back to doing this, so that way it comes back, you know, your cup can be filled back up. But what a lot of people get stuck on is that they get stuck on with the same water that's in this bottle. But you do realize at some point in time, this water's gonna get decrepit, and it's gonna get stale, and it's gonna stink, and it's gonna smell like this bottle, and it's gonna smell old. Or if you let it sit in the heat, it's gonna taste like plastic.
Still
Like,
water. You ever seen water at a lake? You know how it get real filmy and thick on top and shit, and you be seeing the ducks swim through that shit. It's the same thing, bro. And like, granted, shout outs to Shorty, because she was really just being a friend, you know what I'm saying, and looking out for my financial standing, because it always be flip floppy. So I fully understand where she was coming from. But my whole thing is, at this current moment, I don't have a consistent form of income, you know what I'm saying? So why wouldn't I take whatever money I'm getting and put it into these business ideas I got, and at least start getting them off the ground? Because the fucking music shit is already rolling. The music shit been rolling. Niggas about to hit some type of, not a peak, but, you know, we're gonna go up a little bit with the music shit this year. But that's only one thing, and it's also not a guaranteed thing, because I gotta swoon a whole bunch of people in order for them to be like, oh, this nigga deserves some money. Like, nah, I've been deserved the bread, but I'll let y'all have it, whatever. So it's just like, yeah, why would I not take my bread that I have and invest into these business ideas that I know, especially with the way that society is going right now, is gonna garner me some income in the future, you know what I'm saying? Some good income in the future. So that's how I look at it. I'm always thinking, like, I live in the future. Somebody told me that shit before. They was like, nah, bro, you from the future. That's why all this shit be irritating you now, because I dead ass do. I be in the future all the time.
you sound just like me. Like, and even with the same idea of, you know, not having it at the moment. And that's the thing you have to be specific about that, because a lot of people be like, you know, they say that they're broke, but it's like, you don't realize how infinite that could be.
That's why I did that, bro. We've been learning about being real specific in this shit, bro.
Yep. Look, you saw how I had to catch myself. I was like, hold on, let me make sure I say this right, because I'm not going to manifest no shit in my life that I don't need right now. That ain't it. But with that, it's like, a lot of people get stuck and be like, you know, that they say that they're broke or whatever. And it's like, you need to put a declaration on that quote unquote brokenness, right? Because even in your brokenness, you still have abundance, first and foremost. But second of all, like even how you just said, as far as like you take it and take what you have and you go and put it into your endeavors, even though you won't see an immediate return. That's part of the problem with where we are now, is that first world problems, or millennial issues, or whatever you want to call it, or whatever. How we have this instant gratification, like we have to have it right now. It has to be here. It has to happen now. If it doesn't happen now, then it's not right, and it doesn't. No, wait on it. What the fuck? Wait, wait. It will come.
You know how they say the greatest things are worth waiting for, bro? Yeah, it's one of those situations, you know what I'm saying? And I'm very, very fucking glad that you used the words instant gratification, because I was gonna say that, dog. And like how me pursuing music was the greatest thing that I could have did at fucking 17 years old, because I was so young. And now at 24, I know so much, you know what I'm saying? And at first, like, I was so infatuated with instant gratification, and I thought to myself, like, yo, since I'm nice, I'm finna drop a couple songs and we finna be out of here. We making money for the fam now, you know what I'm saying? Like that was my whole thought process. Then years go by, niggas done dropped 2 tapes and shit. Niggas still not where we at. So like my whole obsession with instant gratification died, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, and it's funny, but I feel like Instagram, IG, also then sat here and fucking got niggas infatuated with instant gratification, because you post a picture and if it's a 5 picture or if it's a 5 video, you get a whole bunch of likes, and it's like that. As soon as people see it, straight like that, you get the instant love, you know what I'm saying, off top. So that shit made niggas mad infatuated with that. That's why people addicted to social media. That's why people addicted to Instagram and putting shit up there all the time. And they change themselves and alter themselves in order to garner more likes and shit like that, because it's instant. It's right away.
Look at you cracking the matrix. This man dropped a whole bomb on y'all. Instagram, instant gratification. I did not even put them numbers together. I'm like, for real. Like, if I could put the little animation, like I need the head explosion for real, because like, yo, I didn't even think about that. Like that, damn, that's wild. And I think what's crazy about that is being in this instant gratification type of space, is that when you don't get what you want, which is that instant gratification, right, you end up putting yourself back into the poverty mindset, saying that, that this thing didn't work out, that this didn't work out like this, and it's not gonna work out. But you have to, let me back up. So I talked about this on one of these episodes. I don't remember. But I was on a trip in my favorite rocket ship, zooming through the sky with the little Einsteins a couple months ago. And y'all paint your picture. Those that see me, we see each other. Y'all know what we're talking about. But the meditation that I had, and mind you, I was sitting in a restaurant with around some of my good friends, and was eating while I was on my trip in the rocket ship. And the thought came to mind, and I don't know why it came at that moment, but it set in for a reason, right? And so the thought was like, when we think about, it was the idea of patience, right? The whole premise or the message was patience. And what it made me think about, like my grandmother, may she rest in power as well. She told me, like, literally, I want to say like a month or 2 before she transitioned, she said, boy, if you are ever going to be a successful teacher or educator, you are going to have to learn patience. And I was like, yeah, I know. Because at that time, my patience was like paper thin. And it wasn't like patience for like in an instant gratification type thing. It was like, I just didn't have time for people's bullshit. Like, cause like you just said, you live in the future, and that's why a lot of stuff be irking you now. Like, you preaching to the choir on this. I see a lot of stuff, and it's like, it really don't have to be this difficult, y'all. But as Lauryn Hill said, it could all be so simple, but yet you rather make it hard. Like, but I didn't get what she meant, like on a deeper level, until I was on my trip. And so I had a whole vision of where, you know how they used to throw them little mad problems at you, like, if train A leaves the station at 9:15 and train B leaves the station at 9:26, Where is it gonna meet up or whatever? And the whole thought or the revelation that came with it is that your expectation for something is relative to the observer, right? Even a step further, time is relative to the observer, right? We measure time. I've talked about this before on here, but it makes sense in this context. Time is a measure of distance, right? We measure from point A to point B. We measure how long it takes you to do something, how long it takes for something to happen, right? But from a first person point of view, we may look at something and say it's not happening right when we need it to, which is that instant gratification. Whereas from the most highest perspective, from this third person point of view, it's like, no, that shit's happening right when I need it, when I said it was gonna happen. You put in the work over here, it's not gonna happen for another 4 months. You pissed off because you think it's supposed to happen in 4 days, and then you get upset because it don't look like how you want it to look like. When meanwhile, I'm just like, still there, but in the midst of that, you end up blocking your blessings. So that way, when it does finally show up, when you do finally arrive to that, you end up pushing it off to the side because it's not what you want, or it didn't show up how you want it to look like, or it didn't show up when you thought it should on time, like you thought it should. And the thing, and so the thing with that is like, when it comes to this instant gratification and going back to this poverty mindset idea, a lot of people end up putting themselves back into that mindset because they don't have that instant gratification, because they can't see it for what it is. But shout out to gospel recording artist Vashawn Mitchell. Back when I was going to church, he was at Mount Zion Baptist Church in Nashville, and he I don't know if this is an actual song, but he was singing it as while they were in high praise. And the song was like, I may not see it, but I hear the rain. And the repeating portion of it was, it's getting ready to happen. You may not see it, you can hear it, you may can feel it, but just know it's getting ready to happen. You may not be able to physically put it in a manifestation right now, but just know it's getting ready to happen. And when he said that, and then I connected that with this, I'm like, yo, like you said, your instant gratification died. Mine died that same day, where it was just like, I can't sit here and rush or expect something to happen based off my own time, because from this first person point of view, it's like, no, it's not happening at the time that it should. But everything always happens in divine timing. Everything always happens as it should. And this was something that I also thought about, at the tail end of 2020. Had I gotten a lot of things that I have now at the top of 2020, man, I would have squandered them mugs. I would still been in Memphis. I would have been in bad shape. Like, and it makes you turn around and just be grateful for what you have. Like you said, that abundance mindset, it literally makes you turn around and just be grateful for everything that you have around you.
Nah, that's big facts, yo, honestly. And like, I had that same thought at the end of 2020 last year too, because what I want to happen hasn't even happened yet, but I've been feeling it fully in my spirit for like a whole year and a half, you know what I'm saying? But 2020 was the year where everybody was forced to chill out, but I was really forced to chill out, and I had to turn inward, you know what I'm saying? But I say that to say that everything that's about to happen, if I would have got that shit years ago, when I really, really, really wanted that shit bad with like everything in me, I would have squandered the whole shit, bro. Flopped the whole shit, everything, just because of who I was at that time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you cannot rush your blessing. You know what I'm saying? I think about this shit, and I feel like everybody should either practice or study the art of growing things and just horticulture in general. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, you think about this shit like trees and flowers. You know what I'm saying? I've planted many, many, many trees with this music shit. And now we got little stumps growing and shit, you know what I'm saying? We about to stand tall real soon. I've never really planted any flowers, you feel me? So like, and also when it comes to the growing process, you just gotta think that shit takes time, you know what I'm saying? When you put a seed inside the ground, that shit is not gonna sprout out the next day. Like if you think that shit, that you growing some genetically modified shit that you don't need to be getting, you feel me? For real, for real. So, so I just think about it like that. And if you unsatisfied with growing trees, Like I was a little unsatisfied with growing trees and plant some flowers. They work quicker, you feel me? But you just gotta know what it is that you're planning and be intentional with those things, you feel me? And then you'll get the results that you want, but you just gotta know the results that you want. You can't just keep shooting in the dark and just like, oh, but I hope I hit a target. It's like, nah, you can't do that. You gotta know exactly what the fuck it is that you're doing out here. And that's what the universe responds to, is what I've been peeping. It's like accuracy and intention, like true intention.
Those are, I mean, unmitigated facts. I hope y'all are taking notes in the midst of this, because you don't get sermons like this often, and your pastor ain't preaching this word. I'm sorry. This is the straight up unadulterated holified gospel. This the hood gospel right here. Like the metaphysics with the hood come together gospel. Like I need y'all, I hope y'all are taking notes for real, for real. But dang, so let's go back to the music real quick, you know, because you brought up MJ several times, and I don't know, I ain't trying to get you canceled, but two questions regarding MJ. One, and I'm about to make this real hard for you. I'm gonna make you think on this one. I need your top 3 MJ songs, and I need your Beyonce or MJ.
I can answer your second one already.
Okay, go for it.
MJ.
Okay.
Top 3 MJ songs. All right, so You Rock My World is definitely up there. Smooth Criminal is just always my shit, and Liberian Girl.
Ooh, you picked some deep cuts. See, a lot of people wouldn't go to Liberian Girl. Like
That's my shit.
Like Smooth Criminal, like that's understandable. Rock My World, that video was just A1. Like that Rock My World video, that was a movie. Like,
yes.
I don't know what Michael Jackson was on when he was creating, but that Smooth Criminal, Remember the Time, Thriller, and there's one more that I can't think of off the top of my head. All of them was movies. Like he should have came up with a film. Like I needed a film out for that.
Yo, paying attention to videos like that growing up and shit, and other artists who do videos like that is why I do my videos the way that I do them. Like if you look at any of my videos and a majority of these shits, if I didn't just shoot them on a whim, you know what I'm saying, just to put something out, a lot of those things have very thought out concepts and stories that go with the videos and shit, because that's like all that I wanted to make. And I told my director that when he graduated, I was like, yo, bro, I want to make movies. Like every artist right now is out here just, oh, let's make a 5-song, let's get a whole bunch of people together, let's shoot a video to it, put it out. Everybody's doing that. I was like, nah, man, niggas gotta think. I want people to see shit and start putting pieces together. I want to have a whole bunch of like underlying tones and messages and shit. Like one video, I had me talking to me inside of my conscience, and then the real me was a clown, and then the real me that's inside of my head is like, yo, we dead ass doing this right now. The internal dialogue that everybody has with themselves, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I want to showcase different shit.
Bro, no, that's dope. Like, because even when I think back to the Coyote video, like how it started off, and then it went from you cooking to then you trying to bag a shorty, and it's like a lot of folks will be like, now how the hell did we get from here to here? And it's like, just follow it. Remember the time how you had a whole movie just for him to bag the queen. Like, you have to follow the creative genius, and even if it doesn't make sense to y'all, it ain't gotta necessarily make sense to y'all, because I ain't necessarily making for you if it didn't make sense to you. Like or if you did enjoy it, like take some time to digest it or look at it from a different angle. And I don't think a lot of people can do that like they did Michael Jackson like that. You know, a lot of people had a lot of issues with some of his videos, like what's the one? They Don't Really Care About Us. A lot of folk had a whole issue with that video, but it's like, are y'all mad with the creativity, or you mad with the message? Because I think a lot of y'all was more mad at the message, but we'll leave that. We'll leave that right what it is. But what's interesting though, but I had a thought. What would be dope is if, and we can speak this into the ethers now, and now that it's recorded, it's going to be what's the word? It's gonna be here, solidified for always and forever, right? Uh, somebody tap Hype Williams' shoulder. Cause you thought about, you said all these different aspects, and you think about all the Hype Williams videos where he had the one here and then he had the jumps in the background and stuff like that. Somebody need to tap Hype Williams. I need a Hype Williams video from you. That's what I need.
Hey, it's coming, bro. It's coming. I fully believe it's coming. Matter of fact, fuck that. It's happening. I'm gonna say it like that. It's happening.
Man,
That
put
could
it
be
in the
that could be
ethers.
that could be future, or that could be very present. You know what I'm saying? So it's happening.
Man, and we got, and look, y'all heard it here first, so y'all better not go nowhere and tell nobody else that. We'll call Hype and tell him to look at this, and then tell him to go call him. So y'all, so we, because I could literally see a Hype Williams here, like the video that popped in my head. 3 of them actually. Beyonce's Check on It, Neo's So Sick, and what was the Jamie Foxx song? Was it Blame It? Yeah. Them 3 videos came to my head because they all, even though they all had kind of like the same formatting with the, you know, here's the widescreen view of what you're actually seeing, and then the top and bottom are like the background or the extra effects. What a lot of people, especially a lot of young cats, don't know this, like, because Hype Williams, I grew up on Hype Williams videos. Like, I used to love it when I used to watch 106 and Park and see a Hype Williams video, because it's like, this nigga is, I don't know how you came up with this concept, but it's like, it's revolutionary. It was a pioneer concept because nobody was doing that. But a lot of young cats don't realize how much a music video makes the song, or it can take your song to another level. That's, again, Remember the Time is the best example. Thriller is the best, because I mean, Thriller might as well be a short film. Like, it literally is a short film. Remember the Time is a literal short film. Smooth Criminal is a literal short film. What was the other one? Sorry, Beyonce's Sorry is a short film. Like, all of these are like, you know, a lot of people aren't approaching it and attacking it from that manner, but it's that creativity that gets people like, yep, and got them. Like, and that's how you end up building your not your clientele, but your fan base. That's the word I was looking for.
That's how you set yourself apart too. You know what I'm saying? Because in the state of music right now, and I'm so glad that it's like starting to switch, but what it has been since like fucking 2015 is real gimmicky. You know what I'm saying? It's just real like, okay, let's make this hit song, and then we're gonna make a little random video to it, and we're gonna put it out, and we're just gonna keep doing shit like that. It was like the formula was like gimmicks and saturation. So that's all niggas was putting out, you know what I'm saying? But they weren't really separating themselves from the pack. That's why a lot of those artists that came out in that time are like where they at now, you know what I'm saying? Now we back stuck with the niggas that was popping before 2014, the ones who kept consistent throughout that shit and followed their own path with the whole shit. And like, people just like to see new things, you know what I'm saying? People like to see new things all the time. People are always fiending for some new shit. So it's just like, why not introduce a new concept? Why not go a little bit harder, go that extra mile than everybody else is going, you know what I'm saying, to give your fan base something like monumental, something truly different, you feel me? It's just like, niggas not really thinking on that level no more, and I don't know why, but I'm grateful to be around people that do, and to know artists that do still think like that. So that's not like constantly in my cipher and shit, because I would go crazy if niggas was just super simple around me.
No, that's real shit. That's real. Last question, and we're gonna get up out of here. So you say your music is music that niggas fuck to, and it's baby making music. Does 232 got a significant other that is putting their own music on in his life? Cause I know somebody watching this is like, see, I'm trying to bust it on him and try to see what, you know, what it look like. Look, do the fans got a chance is the question.
It's open.
Well, there it is. So go ahead and get your shot ready. Whomever. He said it's open.
Hey, that don't mean that you're not gonna brick though. So like, I'm selective.
Well, Well, so that means you might want to get like Kobe and get in the gym every day and shoot 500 shots until they all bank. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
you might
So,
want to work on that one until you come over here. You know what I'm saying?
well, y'all heard it here. So, good luck to those that do. I can't help you on that one. I tried. I did what I could. Well, is there anything else that you would like to tell the class before we get up out of here? Drop your socials. What you got going on? All that good jazz.
All right, so the social media is my Instagram is the same as my artist name. It's at TWO32. My Twitter is 2, like the number, _32 AM, like Messiah, which is my name. I sell CMOS gel inside New York City. We have original CMOS gel. We have ginger infused CMOS gel and elderberry CMOS gel. So you can hit me on either my Instagram or my Twitter about that if you're inquiring to purchase. I also have some merchandise out at 232.com. I said how to spell it already, so y'all should know. And yeah, go peep some music. You know what I'm saying? Niggas got like 3 tapes out and mad singles, and we have another album dropping on Valentine's Day. So yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell niggas that you was on your holistic health shit. Now you just gonna slide that in there like, now wait a minute, before we get out of here, what's this CMOS? You ain't talk about this.
Okay, so with the CMOS gel, the all right, so the way that I'm about to show you my spirit, bro. This is how it started for real. Because the whole COVID shit was going crazy and all that. And niggas is like, oh my God, I can't wait until we get a vaccine, da 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 da. Oh, don't go outside, don't breathe air. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, and I'm just like, yo, as a person, none of this shit makes sense. Because everybody needs sunlight, everybody needs fresh air. If y'all motherfuckers don't go out there and get y'all some sun, get y'all some fresh air and all that jazz, you know what I'm saying? Cool. But I was just like, the way to fight this whole shit is from the inside out. Everybody's waiting for an external remedy for it, but you have to fight it from the inside out. So I took it upon myself to look up some things that were good for the body and shit for me and my grandma, because I stay with my grandmother. So I was just like, more so making sure that she's good. I'm young as fuck. So I'm like, yo, we got to switch up our diet a little bit, incorporate more fruits and vegetables and shit like that. And then I also have this CMOS gel. So I started making CMOS gel, and I got like 2 pounds of it, made a whole bunch of CMOS gel, and I had more jars than I needed for me. So I was just like, yo, I'm going to hit all my homies up, because I feel like if anybody going to be good, my people is going to be good. I'm going to make sure that my people is good. So I'm hitting on my niggas up like, yo, what you doing today? You're not doing shit. I'm about to come drop this CMOS gel off to you. And I'm giving it to niggas for the free, bro. Big ass jars of CMOS gel. One of my boys hit me. He was like, yo, nigga, why you not selling this? I was like, man, I was just trying to make sure that y'all niggas was good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do anything for money off top. Like, that's not where my brain goes. I hate the fact that money even rules the world the way that it is, but that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? He was like, nah, bro, we can make bank off of this shit. Like, I know mad people trying to get this, that. So I was like, all right, bet, set it up. And then since then, we just been making CMOS deliveries, and we do that like every couple weeks, because the jars, they good for like almost a month. You know what I'm saying? So we just do that shit every couple weeks. And it's a nice little side hustle, you know what I'm saying? Get a couple extra dollars in your pocket and shit on the side. So yeah.
No, that's real. Wow. I have no words. The last thing that I'm gonna say behind exactly what you just said is folk ain't going outside, they ain't getting no sunlight. I just find it interesting that you say this, but I just seen earlier on Twitter where they said something about vitamin D is if it ain't the cure to coronavirus, it'll definitely help deter. And I'm like, now y'all, if we talk about etymology of words, the coronavirus, the only place that you can find a corona besides the liquor owl is the sun.
Okay.
What else comes from the sun? Vitamin D. Are y'all stupid or like?
Is it clicking?
Is it clicking? Like what's not making sense here? And then folks is like, oh my God, vitamin D is this, and everybody needs to take more vitamin D. Again, we knew this. But now I'm just like, if y'all just not finding out about this, wait till y'all find out what Bill Gates trying to do to the sun. And wait till y'all find out about them little fluffy clouds that's coming out the back of planes and why it rain every other day. Wait till y'all
I
find
keep
out about that.
all of that shit right there, bro. Honestly, I just keep it to myself because as we be speaking about inside the Discord chat, I'm not very fond of explaining myself or why I feel the way that I feel or why I intuitively know the things that I know. I'm not into that shit, and I'm not finna go back and forth with nobody on no social media about none of that shit. So I just tell niggas straight like this: you want to get past this, you want to make it past this point of life that we're in right now. Make sure you healthy. Stop putting bullshit in your body. It's really just that simple. Like, I don't give a fuck what else you do. Just be healthy.
Why is that so? What's difficult about that? Like, I
Right.
said that to people when this mug got started, and I literally told people, you know, I had what they was considering COVID literally at the tail end of 2019, like the week between Christmas and New Year's. I had it for 3 days. And like you said, intuitively, you just know what to do, right? I mean, I've talked about this on one of the episodes as well, where I literally was like, I don't know what caught me slipping because I don't eat meat. I take care of my body. I take my supplements. I drink my water. I do all that stuff. And I was like, I don't know what caught me slipping, but something ain't it. Ancestor said, get up, go get some tea, go get some apple juice. You know how to make your tea. Put all this little stuff up in there. Go get you some ramen. Go get you some soup. Take care of yourself and take your black ass outside. The sun is out. It may be 35 degrees outside. Put a coat on and take your black ass outside. You will be fine.
Just let that shit hit you real quick.
And you will literally be fine. And it's like, but when I tell people about this, they be like, well, that ain't gonna work. Dr. Sebi been telling y'all this shit for like 40 years before he kicked the bucket.
It's been proven by so many people. So it's just like, I don't understand how you can say that something doesn't work when these are things that have literally been tried and proved by various people and also myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, all right, y'all can sit there and believe whatever the white man want to spoon feed y'all. I'm not finna go back and forth with y'all niggas on it. At the end of the day, it's a simple fact that everybody should be striving to have a healthy body. Unless y'all niggas want to die at 30, I don't plan on doing that shit. So.
And it's literally that's Jesus. We'd be here all day talking about this because my God, just the idiocracy behind it is just like, I'm just trying to figure out, do y'all think or do y'all just like, do y'all like moving pictures or like, how can I show y'all this in a way for y'all to understand it? But that'll be me getting on my soapbox and we ain't got time for that. Thank you so much for coming by, man, and gracing this platform with your presence. I'm gonna put all the stuff down there in the description box and for all of you people to go and support, because like I told you at the top of this, if you don't support Black business, you ain't got no place to be in over here, because that's what we do around here. If you're in the NYC area, go get some sea moss. One of these days, I'll catch a train from DC up to NYC and I'll come get my sea moss gel in person. Maybe that'll be when the panoramic slow down, or I don't know when that'll be, but you know, and maybe I'll just drive up there and get it. But that's a 5-hour drive from DC. That's kind of far. I don't feel like
hey man, I might find myself out there before you find yourself out here, so I'll let you know.
Hey, if you do, look, I'll be here. I ain't going nowhere. Like we said earlier, it costs money to do things. I ain't going. If it's anywhere outside of 5-hour driving distance, I'm not going. It just won't be happening. But thank you again for coming by. Y'all go support this man. Go look out for his music. Go look out for anything that he creates, because I guarantee you, I'm not the nigga to tell you nothing wrong. This man here, when I say it's baby making music, and outside of that, it is other music that you ain't got to smash nobody to. But the music is on it. The artistry is on it. I'm not gonna steer y'all wrong. Go check his stuff out. 232. Thank you so much for being here. And
thank you for having me, man.
Hey, it is not an issue. You are more than welcome to come back at any point in time that you want to. But hey, y'all, until next time, y'all be great. Stay prayed up. Stay blessed and empowered. Do what you got to do. Take care of yourself. Took your ass outside, get some country on something like. Bye, y'all.
Baby girl.